defenders, I think, it's like.
People deluded, I'm back again.
Come on, Ian. Man. Come on.
Thank you very much for that, Ian, right? Obviously, people deluded, I'm back again. We are top of the league. Say we are top of the league. This is lit, innit? We can't get too excited, though, people. The last 5 times we've gone into Christmas at the top of the league, we ain't won the league title, and City are a different entity. It's nothing done. It's 5 points, but there's over 20 games left. There's a lot to be said. You know, if we keep ticking along, then for me, you lot can dream above that. But I need to see Champions League football. When that is mathematically confirmed, then I can dream about other stuff. But I'm proud of our boys, man. You know, what defines you is how good you are at your worst. And I won't quite say we was at our worst today. I think first half, it was probably 5s and 6s across the board, but we weren't at our sparkling best. We were second half FC this season. I mean, today. Normally this season, we kind of kill the games in the first half, even though against Forest at home, the onslaught came in the second. They said, could ODEGAARD do it in the evening fixtures and that? He's got 2 goals and stuff like that. So it is what it is, man. You know, you look at all the metrics, first and foremost, where we are in the table, and the most importantly, the points on the board. You look at the fact that we're keeping clean sheets, we're scoring in every game. You need to score goals and keep clean sheets. And I think the most encouraging thing is I still think, even though we've been good at that, I think there's many gears to go up in that regards as well. Obviously, we're spreading out the goals on another day or another period when we aren't quite doing this. We might just need the strikers, i.e. Jesus, to score. It will happen for Jesus. I'm confident. I don't know what his goal return will be. Obviously, it's 10 games without a goal, but the collective comes first. He's played well in all of them games, really, apart from maybe the odd one where we haven't all quite been at it. And he's affected the game. So the goals and assists, sometimes they can kind of mask performances. He is good enough to score, but his game management, his infectious pressing, the way he drops in, obviously his technical ability, Jesus is just wavy. But I do think he's got the capacity to score goals, and I think he will get that. And I think we need that from him either now or in the years to come. But individual stuff comes secondary. First thing is the collective. A clean sheet, 2 goals scored, 3 points. Taking advantage of City dropping points, of Chelsea dropping points, you know, United to play tomorrow. Everybody's fighting for 4th. Obviously, Newcastle's a problem that isn't going away anytime soon as well. Us and Newcastle both got 2 L's between us this season. You know, if you said that to me in August, I'd be looking at you like you're a weirdo. If you told me Arsenal would only have 1 L, drop 4 points, you know, this season at this point in January with 14 games, I believe, I look at you like, what are you talking about? I would have bit your arm off for this, and we've got that. But there's over 20 games to play. So we need to keep this, take the good and make it great. Keep working, you know. Now, Arteta has a little period to work with the boys tactically and maybe implement some stuff he wanted to do. I like the fact the formation kind of changed in the second half as well, and to go with the mentality. You know, and the boys get to enjoy their World Cup. And selfishly, Ramsdale, Ben White, Martinelli, I want all of you lot to play games. But you lot are probably going to be wild cards, bit part players for the countries that you're representing. And maybe that means you can get some rest, Carl. Ben White, second half. Saka, definitely second half. Martinelli, even though he weren't his best of games and he proved decisive. The Don was starting to look a bit leggy in it. So we do need to probably bring in some depth. Obviously, big up El Nene for being fit again. Smith Rowe will be back in January, God willing. We probably do need to bring in some players, but we've done all we can and just bring on the next fixture list, didn't it? Really bring on the West Hams, the Spurs is away, the United's at home, and whatever we've got. You know, as I always say in all my videos for all the seasons I've been on YouTube, all that matters is from August to December, and we're on course to have a good one. We're still in the mix for top 4 or beyond that. Now it's for me. Can we go from December to February, from February to March, from March until early May, and then May is just a shootout? Don't let your hard work become undone. So yeah, man, you know, we got the 3 points. We kept a clean sheet. We gone, you know, we've shown our bottle away from home, you know, picking up some points where it could have went left. I do think Wolves deserved, obviously I don't care, but on many ways they deserved a lot more from the game. But you could see Wolves' problem, you know, once they get to the final third, there's no goal scorers there in it, and you need to score goals to win games. So yeah, man, I think first off, naturally we're playing the back 3. They're set up damage limitation. You know, they're playing a team that scored in all games so far this season. They're playing us, who are one of the top goal scorers. They can't buy a win. They can't buy any goals. They can't keep balls out the back of their net to save their lives. So you knew you was going to see a back three beyond the obvious. Obviously, their statistics going into the game are woeful. They've got their new manager watching. So first half, obviously, they're going to, I do think first 20, I wanted to see us kind of cut them open because there was a bit of respect. As the first half grew, they kind of grew in confidence. But back three, you know, limiting the space, remain compact. Obviously, when we're putting in crosses, that's food and drink to their defenders, heading it all day, you know, being quite aggressive in the tackle, forcing our players to go deep, to go looking for the ball, like you saw on occasion with ODEGAARD, with Saka, etc., etc. On another day, you know, you wanted to probably see a bit more from our right-hand side. I think Ben White, Saka, ODEGAARD saw plenty of the ball, but it just looked like the left-hand side. Obviously, Zinchenko can't take a throw in. He's taken Bellerin's place and not been able to do that. Sometimes he goes to sleep defensively, like towards the end of the game, but on the ball, he gives us a lot, really. And you saw that with him. But yeah, that weren't there in the first half, innit? We're not really working, so we're having a lot of possession. We've got them camped in their own half. There's not really anything, you know, and to be in many ways, we were quite fortunate. There probably should have been a penalty for Wolves. You know, at a period, you had, you know, Jesus hitting the post, Jesus scoring but being offside. A couple glancing headers from small Gabby and Gabriel Jesus and big Gabby. They were the only real opportunities at a period in the game. And obviously, we've shown we can do a lot better. We ultimately need to do a lot better. For me, all I really wanted to see was us up the tempo and just ask questions of Sarr. Because other than that, I don't think we're playing amazing, but we're not playing terrible. It's just goals win games. We've got the capacity to raise the decibels. Obviously, Xhaka's come off very early in the game. Don't know why. Maybe he was playing with something going into the game and he wanted to see how he get on. Obviously, he couldn't, and Lokonga weren't on the bench, so I don't know where they're at with that, people. And even on another day, Saliba kind of showed his age today. Kind of got done up by Guedes. Buki, a moment where he's not looked and he's played it back to Ramsdale. He could have been in trouble. Potential penalty shout as well, but he's 21, and I still think, regardless, he had a good game. I don't think anyone was terrible. Partey's never going to get the praise where Odegaard has scored 2 and Jesus has been good, and Martinelli, on what's been by the standards he set, a quiet day, he's actually proves quite decisive in the 2 goals that we scored. Fabio Vieira took a while to grow into the game, but did well. He's not going to get the highlights, but I think Partey was amazing, man, really. If I'm honest with you, I was kind of nervous on the counter. I was kind of nervous defensively on the left-hand side in the first half, but ultimately we didn't score. They didn't score. You just don't want them to be inspired at this point and think they can get more out of the game, which at the time, rightly so, they should, just like us. At half-time, I think, you know, we just need more chances because at the time, you know, a couple of glazing headers, Jesus hitting the bar, there's not really any high-quality efforts, really. I think we're winning the first ball quite a lot and the seconds generally, but there's a lot of times someone will win the first header and we're just waiting for Matinho and Cole to bring the ball down. You can't afford to do that. And I did feel, even though we're keeping Wolves quiet, when they did go forward, obviously, you know, you give a team, even Wolves who are struggling to score goals, opportunities, they will make advantage. So simply put, we just need to do better. Up the tempo for me, do better in the final third and just play to kind of the higher standards and show a bit more invention and variety in the second half. And ultimately we did that. I did think we started the second half with the usual swagger. I think ODEGAARD, everybody took it upon themselves to be heavily involved in the goals, really and truly, you know, if I'm completely honest. You know, there's a bunch of players. Martinelli's played a key role in both the goals, if I'm completely honest with you. Shout out to Fabio Vieira for his involvement in the first one. He stood up. As I always say, if you want to win the lottery, you have to buy a raffle ticket. And it was lovely to see Saka and ODEGAARD queuing up to someone to put the ball in the back of the net. You know, we've got the first goal in the second half. You know, we go 1-0 up. We're doing what we need to do, really, within that regards. And now you just want to see us get that other goal and just put some daylight between the two teams. So when ODEGAARD got his second, I was evidently more relieved in it because, again, Martinelli's played a key role. They've brought on that young right back. He struggled, really. He's made a mess of trying to shepherd the ball out for a throw-in. Martinelli's onto it. He's obviously found Zinchenko's pull it into the box. Martinelli's got back into the box and provokes havoc. He's forced a good save from Sarr. Sarr has spilt it. It's fallen to Martin Odegaard. Blink and you miss it, you know. So good he had to do it twice. And he's taken time to set himself. And it's a good, cute finish from him inside the box. And obviously, don't care who scores, how we score, just that we score. We get the second. We invent a bit of daylight between the two teams. And we've got 2 hands on the 3 points at that moment in time. So ultimately, we did it. Ending thoughts, it wasn't terrible, but by no stretch of the imagination our prettiest game, but we got the job done, and that's what you got to do away from home. And that's why our away form has, like, our away form, our clean sheets, goal scoring, everything that was lacking last season so far has been there. But the sad thing is, it's only half time now. We've got to just try and do this for 20 more games and see where we're at in May. Just keep working hard, man. You know, we sit top of the table going into Christmas. That's good for the Arsenal fans. Them did our jobs in the second half. You know, Martinelli, when he hasn't been that constant threat from start to finish, not that he was bad. As I said, I don't think anybody was terrible. At the worst, first half, I think there was 5s and 6s or just 6s throughout the whole game with a couple of people who raised it. But Martinelli proved decisive. Fabio Vieira grew in confidence off that bench. Odegaard's popped up with some goals as well. Zinchenko was bloody amazing, bar the occasional lapse defensively and whatnot. I think Saliba and Gabriel had a good game, but I think they both had brain farts, more so Saliba. But you got to remember, them and they're young. On another day, a penalty shout goes against us. Saliba's back pass / Zinchenko falling off kind of harms us, but it didn't, innit? So there's many things we can improve on. There's many things we did good. Let's take it great. But clean sheet, 3 points, it is what it is, especially when those around us are either picking up points or messing about. You give yourself a certain flooring because we're not going to win every game. As you've seen, we've only dropped 4 points, 1 L, 1 draw this season, but it probably won't look like that come May. So just keep doing what we're doing, man. So yeah, it'd be nice for Arteta and the boys, because I think those that are going to the not going to the World Cup are going to get a week or so with their family. Nice for Arteta to spend time with his kids and everyone else. Nice for him and Edu and that to start planning the transfers, if not already. Nice for him to anything that he might have wanted to implement tactically. Obviously, when you've got games every 3 days, 3 games every 10 days, 2 games a week, you don't necessarily have time. So it's a time for him to do that. It's a time to work. It's a time for us to just catch our breath, think about the good, bad, and or the ugly this season, and just be better come December / January, really and truly. On a selfish way, you hope that Arsenal players are bit part players at the World Cup, and then you're banking on, you know, the Fabio Vieiras, the Smith Rowes, the people that, you know, would like to have contributed or played better generally in this first half of the season to raise it to another level. But I'm a happy lad, innit? As you all could be, man. Like, it is what it is, man. Especially when City have dropped points today. We've done what we've needed to do. So I'm a happy man. But I haven't got anything more to add, so I'm not going to bore you. What I would say is, people, although there won't be any Premier League watch-alongs for a second, there'll definitely be World Cup one starting on the 20th of November. Make sure you're there. Make sure you've hit your notifications on Twitch and YouTube, and you're following on both platforms. Make sure you check out my playlist and my match reviews generally. Hit the like button, subscribe, and comment, people. And most importantly, stay blessed, stay safe, stay in good health, stay in good spirits. And I hope to see you all again, man. But for now, I'm out. One love, you lot.
There's always just that active red flag, defending.
I think it's like